Bellerophon by Abbey. There lives a creature of a dreamer's brain that strove by charms, and with the aid of ghosts, of making gold to find the secret out. That drew a white ring round his crucible, and, while the spirits worked at alchemy, he, to beat back vast, adverse ghosts essayed. But soon, within the circle he had drawn, was set a monstrous foot so large his face was level with the instep. All in vain his puny efforts to drive back the foot. Oh, hard for him who, having once let in on the charmed circle of the golden good the first advance of error, strives to oust the evil and make clear the round again, not often will the giant foot retreat. And I behink me him who, in the past before Christ's passion, ransomed man from sin, and in a land that did not know of God, forced back the foot of one remorseful crime, walked silently beneath the silent stars, and gave his heart where cogitation was. Antea, wife to Proitos, tempted me. She and the palace where the fountains are met me at twilight as she walked alone, clad with unscented robe, adorned with gems, perfumed with all the spices of the east. She made her arms a wreath about my neck, and, lifting both her small, gold-sandaled feet, hung her full weight on me. Her mouth's closed bud, thrilled by the ardent summer of desire, busts into honeyed a flower against my lips. With warm cheek pressed to mine, she, in my ear, exhaled the poison whisper of her love. I drew back scornfully, surprised, and hissed between set teeth a menace at all sin. She left me thus, and went to him, her leak, and with the broken fragments of her speech, bits of a jar that could not hold her tears, she let it fall that I had wronged her much. In swift, deep wrath the fierce king called for me, and on a tablet writing fatal words, with them he sent me forth beyond his realm to Lycia, to the king thereof, who met and by the stream of Xanthos welcomed me. 9 days of feasting passed, and on the 10th the tablet was unsealed, its purport known, and its base appetite is gorged today. The unconquerable chimera first I slew. She was in front a lion, and behind a serpent, and was in the middle a goat. Her breath was blazing fire, with which in rage she burned the drought parched forests in her path. And her winged legions with a horse I slew indeed, and gave to REG death. I overcame the far-famed solemnly. I smote the men opposing Amazones. I turned to naught the well-armed ambuscade, and made illustrious my bitter name. But what if I had yielded to the queen, and from the king had stolen that which she were offering had yet no right to give? I hold the soul is like a piece of cloth that, being stained, can be made clean no more, but nothing can erase the stain of sin. Picture that I, having passed safely through the darkness that is seen by dying eyes, have reached the light beyond, and see the gods and Synoid throned, and hear Zeus speak and say, "Preserve no law, yet bind the steadfast earth and all the ways of men in chains of law harmonious with good and linked thereto. The blinded mortal lured to break one chain makes discord, stains the fabric of his soul, and brings dire retribution headlong down. When I, in meek abasement, kneeling there upon the low first step of Zeus' throne, hold up my shameful soul a piece of cloth, through fault of Queen Antea doubly stained, and say, O Zeus, accept this humble gift. Thou wrongest it, the texture is as fine as the loose wool of clothes of a warm silk. These blots and stains are most like roses strewn." His calmness rippled by slight breeze of scorn. The great cloud-gatherer would answer me, "O fool, and blind to mock the mighty gods, for on the mystic texture of a soul only a noble deed shows like a flower. Well, whoso wills shall ever have his way, and what was right that I had willed to do, so haply I on Pegasus should scale white-crowned Olympus to the brazen halls, if I may keep the path of rightness with the strong gods ordained." Thus mused he then, unmindful that great zeal for any good begets a narrowness that leads to ill. The heaven-sent gadfly stings the flying horse, and hurts the rider back to common ground.